Assalamu alaikum, this is Tulika Malika Das welcoming you all to news at 5 p.m. on BTV and BTV World. The Cabinet today refixed all government and autonomous office hours from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. which will be effective from November 15th. The decision came at the regular Cabinet meeting held at the Prime Minister office with Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina in the chair. Cabinet Secretary Kandakar Anwarul Islam briefed newsmen after the meeting at the Secretariat. He said that the Supreme Court and Bangladesh Bank will set the office hours of their respective organizations. The Cabinet Secretary said the Cabinet has given final approval to the draft of the Essential Services Act 2022. In addition, the Cabinet has given approval to the draft of the National Adaptation Plan 2023 to 2050. It has also given final approval to the draft of the Sand Quarry and Soil Management Amendment Act 2022. The Cabinet discussed continuation of the restrictions on cutting trees in protected and natural forest areas till 2030 to save the biodiversity. Besides a third three-monthly report for July to September 2022 regarding the implementation of the decisions taken at the Cabinet meeting was placed at the meeting. Kandakar Anwarul Islam said the Cabinet also gave approval to the proposal on the announcement of the November 4th as the National Constitution Day and inclusion of the circular in the Serial A issued by the Cabinet Division to observe the day every year. The Tax Service Month is going to be observed from tomorrow in a bid to facilitate the taxpayers in submitting the returns as well as availing various tax-related services. Like the previous year, the National Board of Revenue (NBR) will render income tax return services at 649 tax circles under 31 tax zones in Dhaka and Chattogram. According to the NBR, various services will be provided to the taxpayers through the income tax fair at the tax zones from November 1st to November 30 in the wake of the global COVID-19 situation. Taxpayers can submit their returns of 2022 to 2023 tax year at respective tax zones. There will be a separate arrangement at the Bangladesh Secretariat and Officers Club Dhaka for the government officials and employees under Dhaka Tax Zone 4. Government job holders can submit their return there from November 1st to November 14. Experts say the month-long tax service will be meaningful in expanding tax culture in the country and raising awareness among the people. The 26th conference of the International Association Peacekeeping Training Center under International Peacekeeping Operation Training has started. Bangladesh Army arranged the conference at Rajendrapur Cantonment in Gazipur today. Home Minister Asaduzzaman Khan Kamal inaugurated the 5-day conference this morning. The Home Minister said the bitter experience of genocide, the glorified history of the Liberation War and the ideology of Bangabandhu to establish world peace and humanity have always inspired Bangladesh to work for human rights. Army Chief SM Shafiuddin Ahmed and high officials of different organizations participated in the inaugural ceremony. Edward Ted M. Kennedy Jr., who is now visiting Dhaka, has said the relationship between Bangladesh and the United States in the past 50 years has stood on a solid foundation and hopes that it will be strengthened further in the days to come. He expressed the hope in a lecture titled Commemorating the 50th Anniversary of U.S.-Bangladesh Relation at Dhaka University Nawab Ali Chaudhry Senate Bhavan today. Vice-Chancellor of Dhaka University, Professor Dr. Muhammad Akhtaruzzama presided over the program. U.S. Ambassador to Bangladesh Peter D. Haas was present. Ted Kennedy has recalled the role of his father, former U.S. Senator Edward M. Kennedy during the Liberation War of Bangladesh and said he has been in Dhaka to pay homage, marking the 50th anniversary of his father's role in the war in 1971. Edward Ted Kennedy has lauded Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's dynamic leadership in achieving Bangladesh's indomitable advancement and successes. Earlier, Edward Ted Kennedy visited the banyan tree at the premises of Dhaka University's arts faculty planted by his late father, former U.S. Senator Edward M. Kennedy, in 1972. Kennedy Jr. was accompanied by his wife, Catherine Kiki Kennedy, daughter Keely Kennedy, son Teddy Kennedy, niece Grace Kennedy Ellen, and nephew Max Ellen. At least 4 persons have been killed and 3 others injured in a tragic road accident in Kumilla. The accident occurred at the Katerpool areas of Chandina on the Kumilla-Chattogram highway when a passenger bus rammed a CNG auto rickshaw at about 12 this noon. 2 persons died on the spot while 2 others died at the hospital. Moinamoti Highway Police seized the bus. Now, the international news. The death toll from the collapse of a colonial-era suspension bridge in India's western Gujarat state has risen to 141. Gujarat's Home Minister Harsh Sanghavi said the death toll rose from 68 on Sunday to 141 early on Monday as search operations continued. Gujarat's Information Department said about 177 people had now been rescued while 19 were receiving medical care. Hundreds of sightseers celebrating Diwali and the Chhath Puja holidays were on the 230-meter bridge when it collapsed on Sunday. The bridge in Morbai, a town some 200 kilometers west of Gujarat's main city, Ahmedabad, was built during British rule in the 19th century and had been closed for renovations for nearly 6 months before it was reopened to the public last week. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, who is in his home state, Gujarat, for a 3-day visit, announced a payment of 2 lakh Indian rupees to families of the dead. The injured will receive 50,000 Indian rupees, he said in a tweet. Russia has launched more than 50 missiles targeting critical infrastructure across Ukraine, including the capital Kyiv, causing power and water outages. In the northeastern city of Kharkiv, energy facilities were also hit. Meanwhile, ships leave Ukrainian ports under the Black Sea grain deal despite Russia's recent withdrawal from the agreement. Russia has asked the UN Security Council to meet on Monday over an alleged Ukrainian attack on its Black Sea fleet near Sevastopol. Moscow suspended a grain export deal with Ukraine in response to a drone strike on its fleet off the Crimean coast of the Black Sea. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky said Russia was trying to create an artificial famine in Africa, the Middle East, and South Asia. The European Union (EU) has called on Russia to change its decision to suspend the deal. Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has won Brazil's presidential election after a tightly contested runoff vote. According to the country's election authority, Lula secured 50.8% of the vote compared with 49.2% for Bolsonaro on Sunday. But with incumbent Jair Bolsonaro still not conceding defeat, there were concerns the far-right contender might challenge the result. It is a tradition in Brazil for the losing candidate to speak first and accept the election loss, but hours after the authorities had named Lula the winner, Bolsonaro had made no public statement on the outcome. In his first commands following his victory, Lula promised to bring the country together and govern for all Brazilians. Lula served 2 terms in office between January 2003 and December 2010. That's all from the newsroom for the moment. Thank you for staying with us. We request you to follow health guidelines, wear mask and stay safe from corona. Khuda Hafiz.